really quick, I do want to just salute to my man Boosie. I think Boosie and maybe Dirk, I guess. Maybe the only two, like Boosie, Dirk, Gucci, the only three real rappers still left. Everybody else is just like really entertainers. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you guys don't know, pretty much Boosie had teamed up with T.I. to go at Charleston White. Charleston White essentially was a subject of their attack because Charleston White talked about their kids. Now, in reality, the kids talked about Charleston White first. Charleston White responded, but then they reacted to Charleston White and said, yo, you're a grown-ass man. Why are you talking to our kids, right? Now, Boosie and T.I. then say, yo, we should do a fucking joint album because it was kicking it for a second. Now, it comes out that, apparently Boosie was in, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Essentially, Boosie called Birdman's brother, whose name is Gangsta Williams, he called that nigga a snitch. Why did he call him a snitch? Because that guy admitted to getting out of trouble or getting less time by telling on somebody dead. So Boosie called him a snitch for doing that. Ironically, T.I., I don't even know if it's an old video, new video, a video comes out of T.I. saying, yo, I had a gun charge back in the day, and to get out of the gun charge, I told him my cousin that died. So basically, T.I. did the same thing that Gangsta Williams did. Boosie called Gangsta Williams a snitch. Now everybody's looking at Boosie like, bro, you claim you're anti-snitching and you the real and all this type of stuff. You the time in Angola prison. Are you going to still stand by T.I. when he basically said the same thing that you dissed and castrated another nigga for, right? So Boosie finally answered, and by the way, answered on Vlad. Salute to Vlad.
All right, here we go. Boosie, welcome back. First interview of 2023. Let's get it. Let's get it. So I got to talk about this. Some interviews back, I brought up Terrence Gangsta Williams.
Yeah.
And we talked about how he cooperated on some of his friends.
How you think? How you think, Vlad? Stop making that law. You don't know if he did that to get out of jail.
Okay, fair enough.
We don't know that.
Okay.
Do we? Have you saw paperwork?
I've seen some paperwork.
I haven't seen paperwork. How do you know that?
There's been a lot of paperwork that's been floating around.
How do you know that?
Okay, well, look. Okay, so, regardless of what happened, exactly, I brought up the situation to you a few interviews ago, and I said, look, Terrence Williams cooperated on some of his dead friends on some murders, and that in turn allowed him to get out earlier.
Oh, and I also gave him some murders with Sterling and Dooney, so some of my people that I'm at odds with now, even BG was upset about it too, because they was like, man, you tell it on the dead. I didn't look at it like at the time. I was like, well, this is a way I can get up out of prison. I'm not testifying on no one. I'm gonna give them this here. They're gonna cut my time. Cool, But
you had an issue with that, right? And you spoke out the way you usually do in these types of situations.
And I had a real respect for gangsta and the stories I heard about him, but that shit leave with me. I have no type of respect for him anymore. What I had for him, that was because of all the stories. And
so this was the old interview where he's going in on the gangster dude. So this is a gangster dude. Let me see if I can show him again. My bad, sorry. This is a gangster dude. And then this was Boosie talking about the gangster dude back then.
That shit leave with me. I have no type of respect for him anymore. What I had for him, that was because of all the stories and all that. But once you go that route, I dismiss you from my legend book and X you out.
Well, let's just say the story is true. So like I said, I haven't seen the actual paperwork. And
You haven't seen the paperwork. He could be telling you that just to be telling you that on fucking camera.
Right.
He about to set up 100 motherfuckers. That's how that shit go, man. You stay solid, nigga. Some of us gonna make it, some of us ain't. That's just how it gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You can take that gangster shit off your name, man. Real shit, man. That shit hurt me when I heard about that shit. Cause how all them niggas in that city stand up for gangsta in Angola, man.
Word.
Them niggas talk highly of this man. You know, they stand on
Man,
this
I
nigga
fell down
name.
to my knees when the law
And that shit
Tell him,
hurt
Boosie.
me. And to hear that nigga was out of jail and that nigga done got down. Cause them niggas in that city, they stand up behind that nigga.
Talk about it, Boosie.
Lee Luke, when I rep Baton Rouge and all my niggas, they gonna come up putting down and stand silent and put in work in the streets, they say gangster. That's one of the good names they say. And that nigga fucked that up with real niggas in the penitentiary.
He responded. There was a little bit of back and forth. And that was the end of that. But since our last interview, there's a podcast that came out with your man, T.I.
Yeah.
And he talked about a somewhat similar situation. He said that him and his cousin ended up catching a gun case. His cousin died, and he cooperated against his dead cousin and made that gun case go away.
I've seen him do it.
All through the comments when that came out was, hey, Boosie said what he said about Terrence. How does he feel about the situation?
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came.
Well, I feel like the situation with Terrence, I don't even know if that's true. Because I got people won't come into VladTv and talk to you about Terrence.
Okay.
But so I don't know if that's true. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat. But I'm going to tell you like this. When I saw that, I think T.I. fucking lying. I think he went up there and just...
See, Boosie started out by keeping it real. He started out by keeping it real.
Because if you, so I don't know if that's true. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too.
This is the thing about snitching I keep telling y'all people. The funny part about this whole thing with snitching is that snitching is snitching until it hits home. Everybody know what snitching is until your homie is snitching. Everybody know what snitching is until your partner is snitching. Everybody know what snitching is until gang is snitching. Ain't that ironic? You never hear this. Nobody ever says, yo, maybe 6ix9ine was just up there talking. Maybe. No. Snitching. It's easy to call it. Yo, let me tell you, this snitch era of music is the best era. I'm going to tell you why. It's weeding out the people who aren't keeping the same energy. It's weeding them out. Because now we looking at everybody and be like, so you still rapping about fuck all snitches while your man who used to do mad songs with snitched? Now, I ain't talking about Boosie. I think Boosie is still one of the very few that, shit, he's trying to give T.I. the benefit of the doubt, but he said it up front. If he really did that, he snitched.
I'll come into VladTv and talk to you about Terrence.
Okay.
But so I don't know if that's true. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too.
I think you should have ended it there.
I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat.
Holy.
But I'm going to tell you like this. When I saw that, I think
seen
T.I.
him
fucking
do it.
lying. I think he went up there and just got the fucking talking. You think something happened at 18 years old, right? You gonna hold how vocal he is. I've been around this. You gonna hold that in all them damn time.
I've seen him do
All
it.
this damn time for 20
I've
some
seen
years.
him
You gonna
do
hold
it.
that in, and it
I've
finally
seen him
came
do it.
out.
Why
I've
admit to
seen
that?
him do it.
Why admit to the after? Like,
I've seen him do it.
bro. This what I'm saying.
I've
This what I'm
seen
saying.
him
This what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
I've seen him do it.
T.I. He's saying this happened early in his career.
Right.
I've seen him do it.
Like when all this was going around with the shit,
I've
what they
seen
said
him do it.
on the
When he got busted with the guns.
with the
The Crime Stoppers.
no the video
Man, I
when he
fell
was
down to
doing
my
this for
knees when the law came. And I-
the video, man, the Crime Stopper shit.
Oh, yeah. No, okay, well, yeah. Well, like I said, he got busted with a bunch of guns,
I've seen him do it.
and he ended up getting a deal which involved him doing Crime Stopper commercials.
Man, I fell down to my
And he
knees when the
got
law came.
very little prison time.
And I-
for
Right,
a
right,
bunch of military ammunitions, basically. And he did that, right?
Yeah, but all this stuff.
Yo, you could tell Boosie want to believe it's not true. Boosie said, yo, I think that nigga lying. Why would he lie about, if you think that's snitching, right? That's Boosie's words. Why would this nigga just lie about snitching? If being a snitch is such a horrible thing to be, who would come out and lie about being a snitch?
Bro, I just feel like, from me, talking and vibing with this man, I don't feel like he could have held that in for fucking all these years.
I've seen him
You
do
just
it.
basically just come out and say some shit like that. Like,
I don't
that
know,
shit was.
man. Look, like,
And then, like, I'm like, why the fuck he say that when we got a fucking album finna come out?
I've seen him
Like,
do
it was
it.
like, bro,
okay, so is that album coming out?
no.
Oh,
Wow. I'm going to be honest. This is why I think Boosie gets a lot of... Boosie isn't promoted on social media a lot, but I think Boosie has fans who literally look at him more than a musician. They look at him as the streets. And I was a little surprised he said this, because who knows? Maybe a tape with him and T.I. could do a little something. But he's sticking to his integrity. He said, fuck no, we're not doing it. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. And this is when I realized that that's why even sometimes, even if he goes on some LGBTQ stuff and you might not agree or you think he's going too hard, you got to respect Boosie's integrity. Let me tell you, we're living in a time where money buys most people's integrity. Or people are selective politicking, as Wack would say. They're picking and choosing. Rule for you, but not rule for me. But I got to give Boosie real credit, because Boosie seems like he's picking morals and principles over possible dollars and cents.
so you have a finished album with T.I. that's not coming out
No, because it ruined everything.
because of that.
It ruined everything. I woke up with my motherfucking phone, everything full. Like, Boosie, you cannot do an album. Boosie, my real fans like, Boosie, you the last one left.
Yo, my man on the Negotiator channel, Rich Kai, he says, yo, Gunna and T.I., they're rodents, but they're not really rats. Like, I don't know what that means, but I got you, bro.
They like, you cannot put this album out. Like, you know, my uncle OG nigga called me. Like, Boosie? Like, nigga, hey. Nigga, what you gonna, hey, look. Nigga, that album ain't, my uncle called me. Nigga, that album ain't coming out.
He told you that.
That was my uncle's OG nigga, 61.
Uh.
Nigga, that album ain't coming out. Nigga, you stand on business, nigga. And I ain't talk too long after that. That what he, nigga, you stand on business, nigga.
So this album is done.
We got about 8-9 songs.
Okay,
man.
so, because I remember we talked about it in our last interview. We were talking about even doing a joint interview with you and T.I.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I got to say, salute to Boosie. Boosie is standing on his principles, whether you want to believe it or not, and I respect it. I respect Boosie for doing that. Do I believe that T.I. is a cooperant? Do I believe he's a truth teller? I've never called him a truth teller based on the silencer situation, even though it looks hella skeptical. You know, he got caught with about, pretty much an Al-Qaeda's worth of guns. Did a year and a day. Also got caught like on parole or whatever the case is with some other shit. Didn't really do much time. But I've always been on the thought of, you can't just call somebody a truth teller or, or some people call a rat or a snitch if, like, who did they tell on? So without having any knowledge of who he told on, it was hard for me to really believe that T.I. is a snitch or whatever people want to call it, right? Now, I don't know why he unsolicitedly just volunteered the info that he told on his dead cousin. Now, if you ask me, and maybe I'm giving T.I. out here, T.I., you've been trying this comedy thing. You got to come out and say that was a joke. You have to come out and literally say it was a joke. You got to say, yo, I've been trying to pursue my new profession, And here's the thing, because people still see me as this gangster rapper, I can't make like jokes to be funny because everybody takes it too serious. I was making a joke. If you say that, and hopefully nobody could find this paperwork that you really did what you said, I think he's good, right? But now, if he told on somebody who died, is he like, I mean, listen, that's for the streets to politic. No, now, if I'm him, I'm saying it's a joke. I've been doing the comedy shit. You feel me? Oh, shit. Yo, XYNZNZX, what the fuck? Says, Ak, how much for you to listen to a song off stream? I rock with you heavy, don't matter if you listen or not. Send the song through, brother. You know, thank you for the $300. You know, I don't want to make your money just go in vain like that. Just send the song through, bro. Okay. From within, he says, pull up stuff. Like, okay, whatever. All right. So, what am I supposed to take from this? I'm going to just, my final takeaway is this. The rap game is very selective. You know, and I don't want to call nobody out, but I'm just being honest. A couple years ago, actually 3 years ago, this exact time, Meek Mill was very vocal about snitches and teaching an example and people who snitches have wronged and people who snitches have put in jail. Now, granted, Meek Mill has now elevated to a different part of his life. He's hanging out with, Michael Rubin, Robert Kraft, and a bunch of other guys. Maybe he doesn't care about snitching anymore. But the current snitches, I haven't heard Meek Mill say a word. Okay? There's certain rappers who usually diss snitches all the time. There's gangster rappers out of, like, you know, whether it's like, you know, these smaller gangster rappers, they used to, you know, especially when 6ix9ine was, you know, revealed to be a snitched, everybody had his name like a punchline. I don't really hear people name dropping Gunna. Don't really hear people name dropping some of these other people. It kind of really feels like, you know, and this is the good thing. It's the destruction of the codes that really never existed. Only existed to send off black men on dummy missions. So when you ask me what I get out of this, this is not like 6ix9ine's career is never going to come back based on 500 other niggas snitching. This is never my goal, because some people think that's what my goal is. No. Well, my goal is that when you hear rappers talk about snitching and you see them quiet now, you should know they're already capping. If any rapper 2 years from now start rapping like he's the biggest thug, killed the most niggas, hates snitches, and would kill snitches, but right now he didn't say a fucking word about none of the conversation going on, you should know these niggas just entertainers. And we do have to start instilling that into the community. Because I keep telling y'all the reason why I believe that TK's locked up. TK took a lot of the music to heart. And yes, Chicago drill was very real. A lot of them guys in Chicago drill, they were living real lives more than they were making music. But the majority of the rap game is not that. The majority of the rap games are rappers. They're entertainers. They're, I don't want to say pretenders like they are not street dudes, but they're rapping about maybe the past life, or they're rapping about somebody else's life. And a lot of times people listen to these guys to think, I heard what this guy saw on the record. He says if something happened, he's spinning and spinning and spinning. No, they're not spinning. Most of these guys are calling the police. Most of these guys, when they get caught up, they're cooperating. And we're seeing the video footage. I just keep saying, every gangster rapper is quiet. Gangster rap don't even hit the same when these niggas are quiet about this shit. Because now when you rap about all the AKs and choppers and niggas you done killed, we all looking at you to say, nigga, stop it, nigga. So street rap is in a very interesting place. But we do have to publicize these things just as much as we publicize the cap. Because if we listen to all these dudes, they swear they're King Von. They're not. And maybe some have the repertoire or live the past life to be that. I'm not saying all of them, but a majority are not. And some of these guys sound really good over a beat, but in reality, they're perpetrating a lie. They're telling you what they won't do. Okay? All right. I get what you're saying. You say everybody got an opinion until it's their homie, right? Abso-fucking-lutely. You get what I mean? All right. Okay. That is the Boosie topic. You guys can, give your opinion on that. I'm pretty sure, Drill will upload that to YouTube. We're going to get to